Good to see you guys as well. I'm obviously excited to be back. This is where I wanted to be. Definitely want to shout out the Wills family, Coach KO and Kwesi. Obviously want to, get back here. And that was my biggest goal going to, this offseason was to get back here. So just very blessed. I want to thank my family. They've been very supportive throughout this whole time. Just sitting and waiting to figure out where I was going to go next. But this is a place, like I said, I wanted to be. And just everything just happens for a reason. I'm just glad, and I'm excited to get back to work.
Doubt that you'd be back?
No doubt, no doubt. That's where my mindset was at this whole time. Obviously, going through the process with my agent, that's why I was, keeping him the message the whole time. This is where I want to be. Obviously, this is where I've been my best, I feel like, as a player and even off the field as a man as well. But just, being around this building just helped me out a lot, I would say.
What is it about this organization that makes it so appealing for not only you but other free agents?
My guy. That's my guy. I would just say, the culture of this team, the culture of the building, obviously the guys in the locker room, that's who I'm around every single day. That's why, I go to work with. But those guys push me to be great. You guys like 4-4, like that's my brother to me. We just push each other to be great here. Our coaches hold us to a certain standard. We all try to get to that standard, obviously be better than that standard, get to the point where we want to go with the goals and everything. But I'll just say the relationships we have here and all that stuff kind of, adds in together.
How different was this free agency period for you compared to 2 years ago?
I would say 2 years ago I was, coming off an injury, my back injury, so I was kind of in my head a lot, I would say, just trying to figure out everything, what's going to happen next and all those things, the questions I was getting that they're asking me, But I think that was the biggest situation 2 years ago, going into that situation with an injury, you kind of don't know what's definitely going to happen. But this time around I was very confident, that I was going to come back here. This is where I wanted to be. So my whole mindset was just, just going through the whole process, letting my agent and those guys talk through everything, whatever. But my mindset was just to get back here and get back on this team.
How many suitors did you have this time around?
I kind of just let my agent. I personally didn't talk to anyone. I just let my agent do what he was supposed to do. But I didn't talk to anyone personally, not a team, nobody. And like I said, my main focus was to get back here. And I've only talked to Floyd, KO, and DJ throughout the whole time.
What's it like now being the veteran in that cornerback room and knowing that the guys are looking up to you in every way?
It actually feels good. I'm going on year 7. Like I said, I came into this league at 20 years old, so I had the same situation. I had guys that were older than me that was, teaching me the ropes, teaching me, how to be a vet, all those things. So now, it's kind of my turn. I want to take that role in, as, being, going on year 7, but also, just like the young guys, you got Nudie, got Kai coming back. I just wanted to, just keep showing them the ropes of everything. And obviously our DB position group just keep getting better and better every single day.
That being said, just, how excited are you to have Harry coming back for year 14? And what difference does that make just for the defense as a whole?
I just want to say year 14 is crazy. Shout out to Harry for that. That's just amazing. But to have him back, obviously having another vet in the room, that helps out a lot. Obviously, like I said, to help younger guys out. But Harry's been doing it for a long time. So he kind of, he shows us every day all those type of things that, that it becomes. But when it comes to watching film and all those things, he kind of breaks his stuff down so we can see it even better. So to have someone in the room like that, just, it's a plus always. But obviously his leadership role and obviously his knowledge, that's the biggest thing, his knowledge in this game.
Now, what do you think, as you think back on last season, what do you think allowed you to take that additional step that you took last year?
I think it goes back to what I just said, teammates that push me every single day. Obviously, Coach Flo, I feel like his scheme and, the position he puts players in to, go make plays is just, it's just perfect for me. Obviously, DJ, Hutch, and all those guys that put the work in with us as well. But I feel like Coach Flo just does a great job overall, like I said, just putting everybody in great positions, to go make plays, finding out what you're good in, and he gonna, set you up to go do it. And like I just said, just teammates. That's the biggest thing for me. Like, going into last year, we had guys that just pushed each other. That's the biggest thing for me is, you got guys that's competing against each other that want to do better. So that's just gonna make you, bring your game even to a better point.
When you see the new additions of Parker and Jonathan Allen, how does that make you feel as a DB knowing that your life's going to get a little bit easier, knowing they're going to be putting pressure on the quarterback?
Oh, definitely. That's what, as a DB, you need those guys to get to the quarterback. I can't get no picks or anything without no pressure or anything. So to add those guys to the team is just a plus. Like I said, I'm very excited to see what they do as well. I just know, we get guys for this culture for a reason. We get those guys that we trust that fit in for our culture. So I'm just excited, always for the new guys to come in and get started.
What was it like during the free agency period, watching what the Vikings did?
I just think it was amazing. Obviously, we got some new guys in our DB room. We got Jeff, Isaiah. We got some more guys, Bubba, at the safety position. We also signed back Theo. got still same guys, but I kind of, the new guys that came in, kind of seen their game a little bit. I've known Jeff for a little bit. He got drafted a year after me to Detroit, so I played against him. He made some plays against him, so I always remember that. But, yeah, I just think this whole offseason, like I said, was just bringing in guys, that fit us, fit our culture. I just think they did an excellent job bringing those pieces in, I think, that we needed on the defensive side.
Byron, what do you think it is about the scheme specifically that's worked for you? It just feels like you've really found yourself as a player with Brian.
I feel like the biggest thing with Coach Flo is, you got to make the offense think. And I'll probably say that was the biggest thing I kind of took in all last year, because every single Sunday we could go watch film on a different team, but then this Sunday we'll get a whole different game plan coming in. So that kind of taught me how to, look at film, and then obviously go, how he coaches is different. He just brings in different looks, different schemes to, every single Sunday. So as a player, that kind of just brings out what other offense is going to give you and all that type of stuff. And that just helps you as a player because you know what's coming next, and it kind of helps you slow down the game.
Byron, what can you help Makai with, while he's getting back to the field and what's on the field?
I feel like all the ability he has on the field, that's all him. Obviously I'm going to, coach him up, try to get him better. But I think the biggest thing for him, I would say mental. Coming off an injury, you could be thinking about a lot. A lot of stuff goes on when you're, because I have an injury and, all those things. I'm going to just make sure he stays focused, make sure he just all the things that he gets coached on the field, I'm going to go coach him again. All those little things, detail stuff we do on the field, all that stuff matters. He asks me questions, we just keep answering for him. So just getting better and whatever he has, whatever questions he has.
What was this like just for your family, knowing you're going to be here signing the second contract?
It was definitely a blessing. Obviously, get to come back to Minnesota was number one, like I said. And now he was just, talking to my family right now, trying to figure out things about getting my kids here and all those things. My girl, she's going in the hospital, working, all that stuff right now. But I'm just trying to figure out a way I can get my kids here and move everybody here. Yep, it's the home.
Byron, you obviously took a big step last year. What is the next step for you?
Next step for me right now, I don't have anything like individual goals, I would say, because the first thing in my mind right now is just to win. That's the goal of this team. That's the goal of everyone here. We just want to go win. That's the only thing that's been on my mind, obviously. But, having the 6 picks, making the Pro Bowl, that's all a blessing and everything. I obviously want to do that again, but obviously get more picks. I dropped like 5 or 6, so I got to go make up for that. But, no, yeah, the biggest thing for me right now is just to win. I've been to playoffs twice, went out first round twice, so I just don't want that feeling again. That kind of been sticking with me this whole time. So just winning is the number one thing right now. I just feel like, that's why we brought the new guys in, the new pieces to, bring this thing all together. So really right now, just focus on winning and getting better.
Really 5 or 6?
That Rams game that you reflected back in the offseason and the team reflected back was the difference between, getting drilled in the first round and moving on?
I would say the biggest thing I think we could take from that game is just, I would say everyone doing their job at a higher level. We had some plays where it could have been me, it could have been someone else or anything. Sometimes those type of games in playoffs, you can't have too many MEs or my bads. So I'll say that's the biggest thing is, just taking it play by play. Don't, if I messed up on this play, don't look back and try to, make up for it. Just go to the next play and, that type of thing. So I just think that was the biggest thing I kind of watched on film. And obviously just playing harder, getting to the ball. That's just the only thing I could say from that.
How long did it take you to get over that loss, knowing that you guys had talent?
I'm still not over it, to be honest, just because the team we had last year, I just feel like that was probably one of the best teams I've been a part of. I feel like we really had, the opportunity to go, get that Super Bowl, but obviously things didn't work out, so I'm kind of still, still got that edge on my shoulder from that game. So, and I lost to the same team, so I'm still kind of mad about that, yeah. Same team, first round, I can't,
Byron, was it a little bittersweet to lose Cam Bynum and great to see him get rewarded for his play here?
Oh, definitely. Cam Bynum, definitely, that was my brother, He was the guy that brought the celebrations, the movies out and all that, so we got to still get that going. I might text him and go get a celebration text for us, for the game. But, no, definitely wish him the best, him and his family. He's well-deserved, man. He been, every single Friday, he used to, just go out there, put in work in by himself, all those type of things. Cam, he's just one of those guys. So, man, just salute to him and his family. I'm supporting him, all through these days.
All right. Thanks, Byron.
Appreciate you guys. Yes, sir.